Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the third episode of OneQuantum Africa videocast, in which we host experts from across the continent to discuss on strategies of how we can drive the quantum innovation industry in Africa. So I am Sahar bin Rashid. I am research student in nanotechnology from Tunisia, and I'm very happy to join Farai Mazando from South Africa today. Hello, Farai.
Hello, sir. How are you? It's a pleasure to have you on, and it's a pleasure to do this video cast with you and to move this discussion on quantum technology in Africa forward. And we're really grateful to have Professor Ahmed Younes with us today. He's joining us from Alexandria, the Alexandria Quantum Computing Group in Egypt. And we're really honored to have him on. And he'll introduce himself further. But I think we are really grateful to have him on this show and to help us to move quantum forward as well, to learn from his deep experience in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation, Professor Ahmed. We are really honored, and we have the great pleasure of hosting you for our episode today. And we would like to discuss with you, of course, and hear your perspective of how we can drive the innovation and research and development of quantum technologies in Africa. And of course, we would like to learn from your experience and highlight your work at the University of Alexandria. So to begin our discussion, we would like to define, first of all, what are quantum technologies and what is the potential of the field? And why do you see it's very important to start investing in the field from today?
Hello, Sahar. Hello, Farai. Thank you very much for inviting me to this videocast. OneQuantum Africa is doing very interesting job. So good luck in your effort. My full support if you need any help in anything. First of all, quantum computer is a new way to do computation. It is a new computer that is working based on the principles of quantum mechanics instead of the classical mechanics in our usual classical computer. Quantum computer is now a must. It is not an option anymore. Because as you may notice that no development in the field of hardware, of classical computer hardware, because of the Moore's law that says that we cannot actually make our components much smaller than this. We will lose control if we make it smaller to make it powerful. So quantum computer is the future. If we did not invest in quantum computer now, if we did not work in quantum computer now, the development in computer science in the industry, this huge industry, will slow down, will come to an end eventually after a while. So yes, it is a must to start working on quantum computer.
So yes,
especially that actually, one more thing, especially that actually it was proved that we can solve problems on quantum computer that will take very, very, very long time, hundreds of years, if we try to solve it on classical computer. So we have two issues here: the power of computation that we will gain, and if you decide not to go to quantum computer, then you will stand still without any development. So yeah, it is a must.
Yes, and seeing the challenges and the big problems that we still face today in our world, it would be a very good asset to change our technologies and level up to the quantum technologies to leverage its advantages and really find the solutions to the problems that we really want to work on for the modern world. So as you have said, Professor, it's very important to start investing in the field starting from today. And the starting point would be developing the skill set and the personnel in our continent, to speak of Africa generally, in order to be a key player in the field and not just, let's say, consumers of the technology once it is mature enough. So how can we start developing the skill set needed today to work on quantum technologies and build the technology Of course, we need the developers, we need researchers, we need engineers, and of course, we need the support of many key players in the field in order to have our contributions, and we need to have our own, let's say, footprint in the field. So, Professor, my question to you is, how do you think we can develop the skill set and the workforce needed to be a great contributor in the field?
Actually, this is very complicated question because to analyze that how can you build an environment for quantum technology in Africa? So you have to decide who is the stakeholders, who are the key players in this. So first of all, you have to develop markets for the consumer, for the people who are going to use this quantum technology, right? So you have to speak to the public about the benefits of quantum computer, because I will initiate a startup company now on quantum computer, but no one will buy anything from me. So I have to build this customer, right? Then we have to make awareness about this technology for the potential customers. Then we support young people to make their own startups. Of course, in academia, from universities, we have to produce or help people to be trained on quantum technology. So this is very, very tricky issue. Let me be honest. Having workshops, having online sessions, having all this very good, very beautiful, but it will not produce the level of the developers that you can rely on to build the market on Africa. So we have to have degrees, official degrees in universities, awarded to people in a traditional way, in a formal way, that will give them the information, the required information in a normal path, a design path, to make them understand the concept and to be trained in a very good way. So yes, the stakeholders, the customers, the companies, the startup companies, the academia, the students, the teachers. You have to build all this environment if we want to do something on this technology in Africa, I think.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor, for your answers and for giving us insight into how we can get started and how we need also to get serious beyond the communities and the online, open access resources and everything else that we're doing now, which is good. We're building a foundation, but to get to a point where, like you say, we are building a useful workforce, and we eventually have that translating into feeding into a market. There's a lot of work to be done. What are the current efforts that are being made in closer home in Egypt, and through the great work that we have seen your group doing as well at Alexandria? So perhaps it's a good opportunity for us to learn about what you are doing with your group and in Egypt in general to move this field forward, so that we can learn from you as well.
Let me tell you the story of our group. It is a 10 years story now, but we are quite big group in number. So to disseminate that kind of technology, of science in Egypt, actually I took my PhD in 2004 from the UK. When I returned back to Egypt, no one understands what I'm talking about. What is quantum computing? So it was a brand quite new technology to everyone. So I started from top bottom, if you can call this. I start asking the people who have the authority to change make awareness about this technology until I succeeded after couple of years to make a course in the PhD level in quantum computing. Then students took that course, the PhD level course, and they start to become PhD students in quantum computing. Now we have doctors in quantum computing. Then I start to go down and suggest another course in the master level. So now we have master level course and PhD level course. After couple of years, I start to encourage undergraduate students to make their graduation project in quantum computing. And when it works, after a couple of years, now we have courses in the undergraduate level. Actually, 2 courses in the undergraduate level. So now you are covering bit by bit the levels of education. And actually, we are designing now a full master degree, applied master degree or professional master degree in quantum computing for 1 year in Alexandria. And that's it. We have 6 doctors now graduated, got their PhDs. We have many master students. And yes, that's our group.
Okay, great. Sounds interesting. We're really excited to hear that. And it means it's possible. We can also perhaps have more places learning from you and doing it in Africa. So we have been the key players who have supported you to get to where you are today. The people who may be, stakeholders who may be important to get this to happen, so that when others look at doing it as well, they are aware what type of conversations they may have to go through.
Actually, as far as we are in the academia, in the university, the support is from the decision makers in university that will help you to get approved your course, your elective course in quantum computing will be approved, so the student can register it. So the support is limited inside the university, and I am lucky because decision makers in Alexandria University are really supportive. They understand the importance of the topic, so they are supporting our group very much. But actually, we are trying to disseminate this in Egypt, not only in Alexandria. In Egypt, we have many connections with people interested and start working in quantum computing in many universities in Egypt. We are lucky because we have very, very strong group. They are not from computer science background, but from mathematics background. The group, we call it Obada group. I don't know if you know this group or not. They are working on quantum information from mathematical point of view, not quantum computing. But they understand the concept. They start to support us, and they have many connections. And we are developing network in Egypt to cover all over the university in Egypt.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So perhaps as a follow-up question, what is your vision for quantum in Africa? If we are to end up having quantum developing to levels that, high levels that I imagine you would want us to get to, what needs to happen in order for us to get there as a continent?
Actually, I will tell you something. I did some homework about Africa, and I usually do this before you go to any area, you have to study this landscape, the landscape of this. So I believe that we have to study the landscape of quantum computing in Africa very carefully. Know who is working in quantum computing and in which topic. There are many topics in quantum computing related to quantum computing, starting from mathematics, physics, chemistry, computer science, engineering. So we have to know who are these people who can contribute from Africa, right? And then start to approach these people. Ask for their support, and actually we have to have some kind of committee that will help to standardize the education if we want to reach to the education level in a program in a formal way, programs, undergraduate programs, master degree, PhD degrees. So we have to unify the concept. This is very important actually in quantum computing. This is one of the big challenges in quantum computing, that people are coming from different backgrounds. Sometimes they don't understand each other. They have no common background, so they don't understand what you are doing, what I'm doing. We both work in quantum computing, but with no common background. So maybe I'd like to share you something related to some analytics on quantum computing in Africa. And this will be very useful for OneQuantum in Africa, that will help taking decision. What's the next step? So you have to understand what's the strengths, what's your strengths, and what's your weakness to use to exploit your strengths parts, right? We have very strong research groups in certain parts. This can be used, organized quickly and produce something. And for the weak parts, we have to do some work on dissemination, awareness, and things like this. So I'd like to share my screen, if that's okay. I'm going to show you some statistics from SciVal. Do you know SciVal? You're aware of SciVal, the data analytics tool based on Scopus database? Mm-hmm. Is it okay to use it to share with you some analytics, very interesting analytics?
That's okay, you can proceed and share.
So you know Scopus, of course. Scopus, the database, research database. You know Scopus, Sahar, right?
Yes, I do, of course.
Yeah. You know SciVal. You have access on SciVal. This is very useful, actually, as a researcher. Every researcher should do this to understand the landscape, the strengths and weakness in every topic, scientific topic we can work on. So SciVal is very big. I'd like to show you something. We have here a tape called the research areas. So I'm following usually research areas in quantum algorithms and quantum and reversible circuits because this is what I do. I'm interested I do research in quantum algorithms and quantum circuits. So in this tape, you can analyze this kind of research on many different levels. For example, let me show you what's related to Africa. So if we want to study who do research related to quantum algorithms in Africa, so we go here. I think the internet with the video is little bit with these quantum algorithms, and we go to trends, and we can check institutes, we can check countries and region, we can check authors who are working in this. So let's choose Africa. This will give you a good list who will be the next in your video cast, people expert in this field in quantum computing. So I will choose, I'll choose here Africa. I can choose Egypt, I can choose Europe, I can choose anything, but let's focus on Africa to understand who are working with this. So our top country is Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. This is, sorry, this is quantum algorithms, trends. But actually, the same set of countries are working on this. Not sure. Okay, yes. So the top country, Egypt, then South Africa, then Algeria, then Morocco, Nigeria, Tunisia. These are the number of papers produced by these countries. This is related to quantum algorithms. So we can study another field, quantum circuits, for example. Actually, I did 2 days ago, I did everything related to quantum, not only quantum computing, anything with word quantum, any topic with word quantum are included. But this is very big. It didn't finish yet. But I'll show you quantum algorithm, for example. You can check the authors who have good publications in this field, so you can understand who are experts in this field. And so now from the other slide, we know which country has good background in this, and which countries need awareness, need focus in the awareness level, and which countries we can deal with. Let me show you this again. Actually, because it is analytics tools, it takes some time to respond because a lot of data. This is big data analytics.
We need quantum speed up.
Yes, this is true. So actually, we can, if you want to make a committee, committee from experts in quantum computing. So I suggest you to ask experts from these countries who has big contribution in this field. No. I think the internet is not that quite fast now.
So, Professor, seeing from the data that you have just shared with us, we can see that Egypt is really doing a great job. And it's one of the leading countries in Africa that is moving the research of quantum technologies in general. So what do you think is the strong point or the strong points that you have in Egypt that made you take the lead in the research field of quantum technologies? We want to learn from your experience.
This is
and maybe we can replicate it in many countries.
Actually, I from my I know people working in quantum, not only quantum computing, but in quantum mechanics, in quantum physics, in quantum chemistry, in from engineering point of view, from physics point of view. Actually, this field is popular in Egypt. Quantum related topics, not only quantum computing. Actually, I don't know, but in Egypt, we encourage people to get their PhDs from outside Egypt. So I myself got my PhD from the UK. So that helps them to collaborate. We have very good collaboration with the US and Europe in Egypt. This is one of the good points in the system, in the education system in Egypt. So yeah, that's what I think it is good. So okay, it appears finally. So I think we can build a committee from experts from these countries. We can check who work in this: Tunisia, Nigeria, Morocco, Algeria, South Africa, and Egypt. They can steer the decision about quantum computing in Egypt. They are experts, and we can help other countries who has little contribution in this to disseminate. So this part of countries we will work on dissemination. This part of countries will steer the decisions. This is very important. You have experts here. You can check the authors. You can check actually the topics they are working on. For example, these are the authors. This list will be useful to you. So my name is here. Thanks. I'm lucky. but we have many authors who are expert from these countries as well. Actually, the interesting part that you can actually hear again, check what are the topics that are useful or that are people are working on in Africa. So to strength, to focus on these topics, because we can get fast results on these topics if we work under one umbrella. Let me show you this. So we have here what we call key phrase analysis. So people, but it will load in a minute. Yes. This is very interesting picture, because these big words has big interests in Africa. Quantum computer, as long as we go down in size, so the interest is decreasing. So I mean, from the publications from Africa, these words are so quantum algorithm. Quantum itself is the maximum. Quantum algorithm is smaller in interest. Then optimization. Then we go to quantum channel. A lot of very few people are interested in quantum channel or quantum control. So actually, these big words, we can check what are the publications about this. So we can start working on the in our strong point, and produce something very fast, because we have already expert, we have publications about this. And if we think, for example, public key cryptography, polynomial approximation, what the quantum entanglement, okay, these topics are important, but with no interest in Africa. So we can start awareness making, approaching people expert in this to give talks to Africa about this. So actually, yes, we can make a lot of decisions based on this analytics.
Wow, that's so great. For sure, I didn't know about this platform, and I learned a lot from this as well. I think it will be useful to a lot of
No, I can share with you
people in the
the
community.
data. Actually, I can export all this data. I can share it with you, and we can organize something not recorded to discuss things. This is very important actually, because to follow certain area in research, you have to follow what's going on, who is working in what, and what's my strength, what's my weakness. So you will find us very popular in quantum algorithms and in quantum circuits, but not in, I mean, us in Alexandria. In quantum circuits, in quantum algorithms, we are in the top people in publication, but we cannot work in everything. No one can work in everything. So we need other people to work on other research areas. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. I'm not sure if Sahar, do you have
this
any?
This is mainly showing.
Would you like me?
Thank you so much for sharing this insightful research. Let me see. Because this is actually showing what are the points that we need to focus on in Africa. And it's, as Professor Ahmed has said, we cannot do everything, but still we can have to build expertise in different fields. And eventually we can focus on what's very important to us and what we can do with the little that we have in terms of resources and in terms of governmental support and the business market and everything. But Professor, I would say that quantum algorithms and quantum computation can still be a very good field to invest in from today. And let's say it's more of an accessible field to start research in, mainly in institutions, but even as individual efforts. But what makes the other fields less popular, and what makes the other field, let's say, less attractive to quantum researchers in Africa? What's wrong with the other fields? I mean,
I cannot answer this right now. I have to do some more analytics, about this. I have to take a look about the publications and who do what, and to check why other fields are not popular. So actually, I cannot do this right now. It
course,
needs
yes.
time to answer, to be an idea built on analytics, not just thoughts.
So thank
Yes,
you
of
very much
course.
for that. I will have one last question. Perhaps you could help me answer this. I always come across it a lot. So there is a community of people who think that Africa should deal with other problems, not to, hitch their wagon on quantum computing and quantum technologies. We have got other problems to deal with back home. How would you respond to that? If ever somebody is challenging you to say,
can you repeat the question again? I didn't get it.
okay, sorry, I'll repeat it.
Oh,
Come once again. Can you hear me now?
yes, yes.
So I was saying there are people who think that we are being too forward when we start working on quantum computing in Africa. There are bigger problems we have with poverty, hunger, and many other things. What would be your response to that? Why should we be paying attention to quantum right now from Africa?
Actually, everyone has his own problems, not only Africa, even Europe, even US, they have problems, different kind of problems. So if we keep looking about our problems and we lost focus, then actually our problems will increase. It will not decrease. Yes, we have our problems and we have our dreams. So we have to balance between achieving our dreams and solving our problems. So problem is never an excuse not to achieve our dreams.
Thank you very much for that. And why is it important that we work together across countries to move quantum forward?
Actually, as I said in my first answer, that quantum is a destiny. It is a future. You cannot, and we still have good chance to contribute, to have our fingerprint on quantum computing. It is in its start, so it is not very far yet. We can catch what's going on. We can do our contribution. We have good contribution in some fields. Why not to do this? If you ask me why to do this, I will ask you why not to do this.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Very sorry, Farah.
That's okay, sir. Yes, you can conclude, sir, and perhaps we are getting towards
Yes,
time.
I wanted to say that, yeah, I think many people would agree that it's a very exciting field. The main motivation for many researchers, I would say, is their interest, and they want to understand how the nature works and how we can use the fundamental, let's say, phenomena and laws of nature in order to achieve higher results in industries and in businesses. So it's actually a very exciting field, and I would say that personally, it's my motivation to start working in this field in the future, and I'm sure Professor Ahmed might agree with me on this side of perspective. So thank you so much, Professor Ahmed, for accepting the invitation again. And it was indeed a very interesting discussion with you that we had today. And seeing the little research that you did on quantum computation and the quantum field in Africa, I mean, a little more analysis of what you have just found would give us greater input and greater insight of what we can improve and what we should work on. Of course, in Africa and in diverse countries that are involved in quantum computation today. And we really were very interested to hear about your story of how you launched quantum field in Egypt. And indeed, it is a very good experience that many countries can learn from. Thank you again, Farai, for the video cast and for the great discussion that we had with you today. And till the other, or let's say, till next episodes, we were very happy to be here and looking forward to having you in future episodes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sahar,
And best of wish.
for this. And thank you, Professor Ahmed. Really appreciate it.